Hello, this is Cherith Fluker. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you chose to press play on this video today. If you are new around here, I love talking all things self-care, parenting, and fitness, or I guess I should say fit-ish after 40. Today, I want to specifically talk to those people who are making excuses as to why they can't have a regular self-care routine. If you are someone who is constantly making excuses as to why you can't do self-care, then I want you to stay tuned. So if you follow me on Instagram, and you should be, if you're not, make sure to hit that link down below. I'll drop a link down there so that you can follow me. But I've been talking a lot or making reels and making mockery in light of the fact that people make excuses as to why they can't do self-care. The most common reason that I hear about why people don't do self-care is because they don't have time. We all have the same 24 hours in the day, and we just really have to focus in on how we're using that time because we're worth it. And if you think about it, if we are not the best versions of ourselves, then we can't be doing the things that we need to do in the most productive way possible. I know how I am. Sometimes if I am tired or if I am bitter about something, then I just kind of go through the motions. I don't necessarily put my best foot forward. But when I take the time to indulge in my self-care routine, then I feel better prepared and I feel better and more confident about doing the things that I need to do. So I want to talk about why you should be putting yourself first. I know that there are so many different things that we hear about how self-care should happen and when self-care should happen. But guys, we have got to take time to take care of ourselves or everything else is going to suffer. I want you to make sure that you are taking some time every day, every single day to do something for you, whether it's big or whether it's small. Now, I know we love those huge, fun, big, like spa trips or, fancy restaurants out and all those things, but it's not very likely that we can do those things all the time. But I don't want you to discount the value of something small like a cup of coffee outside or reading a book or just those small things, whatever it is that puts you in the place that you need to be so that you can tackle those things that we have going on in our lives. So I want you to make sure that you are taking that time. Reevaluate how you're spending your day and think about where you can steal a few minutes here or there. You maybe go to bed a little bit earlier so that you could get up a little bit earlier and spend that time for self-care. Or could you get your clothes ready at night so that you don't have to spend 15 minutes, I'm talking to myself here, in the closet trying to figure out what you're going to wear the next day? Or can you meal prep so that when you get home in the afternoons, you are going ahead and making dinner and not standing at the freezer trying to figure out what you're going to make? There are just little ways that you can carve time and steal time from yourself so that you can give it back to yourself. I find myself doing that frequently. There are times when I am either scrolling on the internet or looking at TV for hours on end at stuff that I probably shouldn't even be looking at anyway, just because it's not productive. Those are things that I can steal those minutes from for self-care. I try to make it a priority for me to spend at least 15 minutes a day doing what I call nothing, but it is essentially something, and it's something that's very important. Whether I sit in silence and read the Bible, or I sit in silence and drink coffee, or I sit in silence and write notes to friends. Whatever it is, I make sure to do something that's going to re-energize me and make me feel like I've had some time to myself, because a lot of it is mental. We say things like, I don't have time to do things for myself and things of that nature, when in fact you do, but you're just not choosing to spend that time on yourself. You are so important, and you're so important to so many people in your life. If you think about it, we have an awesome responsibility, and we say that we are honoring that responsibility by working our fingers to the bone and by not taking time for ourselves, but are we really? I know that you're probably doing great things right now, but think about how much greater you could be if you just took some time to focus on you. If it's a conversation with an old friend, if it is a walk, whatever it is that is going to get you to the place that you need to be for self-care. I want you to also think about the fact that self-care is something that is unique to you. I do have lots of suggestions for self-care on my website, and I hope that you'll check those out. But I also want you to know that it is not a prescription. You need to do what it is for you, and that may mean trying some different things. For me, I finally figured out that as much as I didn't want to be a morning person, if I start my mornings at 5 a.m., I get up, I work out, and I ease my way into my days are so much better. But it took me trying different things because I was staying up late at night, which made me not wake up until my alarm was going off, and then sometimes pressing that snooze button 1, 2, or 3 times, and then jumping into my day without slowly, easing my way into my day. And I found that those days were not really good for me. So it was so much better when I get up and I'm very intentional about the way that I start my day. So just little things like that. And you kind of have to play with different activities. It could be, like I said, talking to a friend. For me, I used to talk to my mom on the phone every morning on my way to work, and she would just, say things to me that would kind of get me encouraged for my day. And when she passed away, I had to figure out a different way to fill that space. So I found a friend that I talk to on the phone pretty much every morning, and we do those things for each other. We encourage each other, and we laugh about things that have happened in our lives, and we cry sometimes on the phone on the way to work. We just do different things, and that time is so important to me. It's important to me to be able to have that connection with that friend, and it's something that helps to put me in a good place before I start my day or as I start my day. So I urge you to take time for you. I encourage you to make time for you. You do have time, but you just have to figure out how to manipulate that time so that you can get in the time that you need for yourself. It is so important that you take care of you. It is so important that you put yourself first. It is so important for you to take time every day to implement some time for you, that uninterrupted time. Guys, if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom for 5 additional minutes, whatever it is, to just have some time that you can focus on you. You can meditate, you can write, you can do whatever it is that you need to do to put you in that place. Take time for you. Take time for self-care. It is so important. It is so important that you do that every day, not just after you have, worn yourself out. Make time in your schedule for you. It's so important, and everyone around you will thank you. They'll be able to tell. People can tell a difference in me because I'm not so easily irritated and not easily agitated. My emotions are not all over the place because I'm exhausted and I'm worn out and I'm bitter and I'm, just agitated. Those things don't happen as much. And when they do, I know that I'm not dedicating myself to my self-care routine the way that I usually do. Now, my self-care routine doesn't look the same every day because obviously I love being outside on the porch in the spring, but it's not always conducive for me to do that if the pollen count is high because I have allergies. So that's not always the thing that's going to be my self-care activities. It is so important for you to make time for yourself on a consistent basis. Self-care is so important. Don't continue to make excuses. Make time for self-care. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button and share it with a friend. If you want more resources about self-care, then make sure to visit my website. I'll put a link down below. Have a great day.